Hi, I'm Mike. I've been a Linux user for several years. Also been a Windows 10 user, chronic distro hopper, and I have a product I'd like to kind of show off today
This is not a paid promotion. I just really like the product.
because this has been a godsend because I've been bitten so many times from dual booting. I would just kind of want to show it to you. This has worked wonderfully, especially if you have a desktop PC like I have with a 5 1/4 inch bay. This is the ticket. It's made by ICDoc. Here, I'll go ahead and show it to you. This is what it looks like here. It's got one drive missing already, so I'll go ahead and populate that. Just kind of give you an idea what it looks like. Okay, there you go. That's what it looks like. It's made by ICDoc. It's model number MB. Let me read that for focus. MB322SP-B. It's a single 5 1/4 bay adapter. It has one SATA power and two SATA datas on the back. It also has a spot here, all right in here, for an extra 3.5 inch drive if you want to add one of those. I never did, but I just kind of wanted the hot swap feature here because dual booting is terrible. I hate it. So here's what I did. I used this, popped it in. If you haven't opened your computer, I would really recommend to do it because, well, it gets kind of dusty in there. So kind of blow it out, do some maintenance, that kind of stuff. But if you have a 5 1/4 bay, pop this little beauty in there, and you've probably got an extra SATA power coming off your power supply right here. Pop that little beauty right in there, and get you a SATA cable or two. Best Buy, Fry's, Micro Center, Amazon, anybody that'll carry a SATA cable. Get you a couple of those, hook those to your motherboard, and you're pretty much ready to rock. So I used SSDs because, well, I like things to be fast. So I got two SSDs here. They're both exactly the same. One's got Windows 10, the other has Linux. So I unhooked everything as far as hard drives go out of the computer. Unhooked everything out of there. Popped this in the 5 1/4 bay. Popped one of these into there. Installed Windows to that. Then turned off the machine. Popped this drive into here. And then took this drive and just kind of did that little number with it. And installed Linux to this drive. Sorry, I tend to point with my middle finger. Don't think anything of it. I don't mean anything by it. So, anyway, installed Linux here. Windows is installed here. So, if you update Windows and this drive is out, this drive is in, Windows can't screw this up. It is detached. It's wonderful. Then, when you're ready to run Linux, pop that out, pop that in, and reboot. Well, of course, you're going to want the power turned off, and when you swap this, and then, yeah, you know what I mean. If you're interested in having in one of these, you probably know how to hook up a hard drive and know it's not exactly good to yank out your OS drive while it's running. Just saying. So, this has been a godsend. Especially because my son is at that age where he loves to play video games. We don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Wii or a Wii U or a Switch or anything like that. So I have a pretty nice PC, and that's what he's been playing games on. And I have kind of not wanted to run Windows for a while because I got burned so bad. well, not necessarily burned, more frustrated than anything. Okay, I'll get into the story. I I adopted Windows 10 entirely too early. I did the Windows 10 preview. Got the free upgrade from 8.1, and you know, it ran pretty well. I liked it. When I first got it, I thought, "Dang, this is great. This is what 8.1 should have been." But as time wore on, uh, things started getting slow. I've reinstalled. I wound up reinstalling Windows a couple of times just for troubleshooting purposes, but and it got much better. And up until I got the 1 year anniversary update. So in that Windows install, sorry, I'm kind of losing my words here. I'm not that great with them. So before the 1 year anniversary update, everything was running wonderfully. It was stupidly fast. I mean, ridiculously fast. I mean, Windows was installed to an NVMe SSD. It had 16 gigs of RAM, an overclocked 6-core processor, X99 platform. Had a 4 terabyte WD black. I mean, and the processor was overclocked to 4.4 gigahertz on 3 cores, 4.5 gigahertz on 3 cores. And I mean, it was just ridiculously fast. It should not take 20 seconds to open the friggin' File Explorer. It should not. Yet it was. Things got really slow, they got really bogged down after the update. And I was on the verge of reinstalling Windows for the 3rd time that year. I was just about sick of it. And after the update, all of the telemetry data that I had explicitly turned off, so it's not as much as I possibly could turn off, I turned off. Disabled Cortana, disabled the Windows Store, disabled, I even looked up some registry edits. I looked up a bunch of different stuff. And followed Barnacle Nerdgasm's guide on Stop Windows 10 Spying. Fantastic video. Highly recommended that one back when it was, pretty new. So after the update, things were bogged down. It re-enabled all of the telemetry stuff. It re-enabled Cortana. It re-enabled the Windows Store and installed 4 games that I've never heard of except for Candy Crush, which I don't want Candy Crush on my PC. So anyway, and all of that was from the Windows Store that I had turned off, or it tried to disable or whatever. And so yeah, I got fed up with it. I want my computer to obey me. It does what I want it to do, what I want it to do. So I had been playing around with Linux for a few years, and I've been running Linux on my laptop, so I decided to run Linux on my desktop. So I backed up all my stuff. Took over a day to back up, less than 2 terabytes worth of stuff. And anyway, that's neither here nor there. And I installed Linux on the drive that's in there now. And I gave myself a year. If I could use it and find alternative programs for the stuff I wanted to do, I would just become a full-time Linux user. So that's what I did. And I completed that 1 year challenge. Yay me. So, and then about that time, my son got to that age where he loved to play video games. And as I said earlier, I did not, we didn't have the consoles or anything like that at the time, and we still don't. But he wanted to play games, so I let him play games on my computer. But the games available for Linux, especially in Steam, are kind of limited, and he wanted some pretty specific games. So instead of dual booting, which, as I said earlier, is not a good solution. I do not recommend it at all. So, bought this little beauty. This has been wonderful. Installed Windows, installed Linux, popped them in and out after I shut it down, rebooted, it popped right up, and ran it beautifully. So, anyway, that's my little spiel. That's my praise of this icy dock. Model number, here, I'll show it to you again. Model number, clear up, MB322SP-B. And they've got a bunch of different ones. They got some, this is just a 1 5 1/4 bay. They've got some that are 2, 3, 4 thick. You can even, and it'll take up to like 5 3.5-inch drives vertically across this way. It's ridiculous and awesome. So I would highly recommend this product if you're looking for something like that, especially if you're a Linux user who uses SATA drives. SATA drives are great. I mean, I've got an NVMe just because, well, I bought one and it's kind of awesome. but SATA SSDs are fantastic. Get you a couple, and if you're a distro hopper, use one of these. If you just install one and then say you want to hop over to another distro, pop that drive out, pop another one in. 120 gig SSDs are like $40 now, or something along those lines. Pop you one of those in, install Fedora, or install Arch, or Ubuntu, Linux Mint, I mean, OpenSUSE, any of that. And if you decide that you just want to tuck tail and run back to the distro that you left, turn it off, pop that drive out, pop your old one back in, reboot, and you're back where you were. It's fantastic. So anyway, thanks for listening. Y'all have a great night. I'm going to show you, it will, dang it, I screwed up. I screwed up big time. So okay, start over.